if I give you a graph, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it algebraically to find the slope. That's what we're doing, is finding the slope. Or you can just draw it out. Now, I like doing this. I go from one point, I go rise, over run. So here is your rise, and here is your run. Think of, you run on the ground, you rise on an elevator. I had a house where the stairs were not done right. There's a ratio for staircases that have to be used in construction so that you don't fall down the steps. And mine, I guess when they did the house and they started putting in the stairs, I go, ooh, we don't really have a lot of room here. So they made them really steep. And a lot of people fell down my stairs, mostly people who lived in the house, because the stairs weren't deep enough. Like my son with his big clodhopper shoes would just, so the slope was not appropriate for my stairs. It was not to code. If we had had construction done, they would have made us fix that, okay? Which would have, I don't know, add to the front of the house or something. So the rise over run, all you do is you count these blocks, and I'm going to count them in another color. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So your rise is 8. And your run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you reduce that to 4/5. So your slope is 4/5. So a lot of times we're trying to find slope and we need to figure out if it's negative or positive. And what I think of is I draw a monkey on the left side. It has to be on the left side of the graph, okay? You can't draw it on the right side. And if you look at the blue line is going to go up over his head. Yeah. And he can't really get on there and ski because he would be like underneath the cliff, right? Yeah. And the snow's going to fall and hit him on the head. So that would squish the monkey. So that would be a negative slope. It would be a negative skiing experience. But if he walked over here and got on the green one and went up here, he can ski down the mountain. So that's a positive slope, okay? So a lot of times when you're looking at a graph, you can tell if it's positive or negative. Don't forget the negative sign when they're negative, because you'll get the problem wrong and it's silly. You can just try to remember, okay? So the formula for finding slope is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And remember, it's rise over run, and the y's are the rise and the x is the run. So let's just put this in the formula. y1 is 4 minus negative 4 over 3 minus negative 3. Everybody get that? So this is going to be 8 over 6, which is 4/3. This minus sign is part of the formula. This minus sign is part of the number. You have to put both of them in there. Now all the lines on your homework are going to be written in a slope-intercept form, which is, and you've heard this before, y equals mx plus b. So when the y is alone on the left side, then the equal sign, then the x, and then the plain number. The number that's next to the x is your slope. Got it? But it has to be in this format in order for that to be the case. So what is the slope of this equation?
-3/2.
That's hard, isn't it? So to tell if it's a zero slope, that land right there, that green, if I could build a house on there, like it looks like Kansas, right? Everything's flat. Iowa, my son's in Iowa, it looks like flat, flat, flat. So that slope would be zero slope. You can't sleigh ride on it. You can't, do anything without a chain and a Jeep. This guy right here, I would not build a house on that lot because that's called a cliff. So that would be undefined. We really can't build a house on it. We can't ski on it or sleigh ride. That would not end very well. So just remember, if your 2 points end up, this one is going to have a 0 in the basement. And if you put any number over 0 in your calculator, you're going to get an error message. When you get that error message and it says divide by 0 or something, it's undefined. This one's going to have a 0 upstairs, and when you put 0 over any number, it's a 0. Okay? You see the difference?